Steph, look like you banged your thumb again?
I'm feeling great, ready to play game 82 on Sunday. Excited about it.
Is this a re-aggravation? I know you've had some thumb issues this year. Was this kind of something there?
From what I know, just a re-aggravation, the same thing, but hopefully it wasn't anything serious.
Got X-rays during the
game.
Yeah. Impact shot at all.
It did a little bit just because it was freshly ringing, new pain, but I don't think it'll last too long.
Is it more like a swelling thing or just like the joint, the movement of the thumb?
I'm not really good with the anatomy, so I just know it hurts right now, but I'll be all right.
Have you kind of absorbed all the standings, ramifications, and what the next, few days looks like for you?
Yeah, I haven't really got too wrapped up into it. I just know we had to win the last 2 games to give ourselves the best chance of safety getting into whatever seed that's a playoff series and a week off. So it's the same situation going into Sunday. The Clippers coming in, they're a good team. They're playing well, different than we've seen them with Kawhi. So you got to be ready for that challenge. We were watching the Kings Clipper game down the last minute or so in the locker room, but we've known the situation for a pretty long time, so you don't get too wrapped up in the drama of it, even though it's great for the league, seeing how it all ends up.
For a team that's been in playoff mode for the last month, how important or how big would it be to get just a week off and kind of avoid the plan?
The plan is wild. We've been in it a couple times. Hasn't gone well for us. But to your point, we've had a sense of urgency for a pretty long time, and we've given ourselves a chance to control some part of our destiny in that respect. So, yeah, you want to have a guaranteed series. You want to take advantage of what that schedule looks like and avoid the chaos of a 1-game play-in situation, because we've been there, done that.
Given where you guys were earlier this season, just how would you assess the journey this group has been on to get to this point and just these last couple months in general?
Just trying to develop an identity of what it means to win, play consistently. We've had some blips in the radar, but for the most part, where we were, 10th or 11th in the standings at one point, it looked pretty bleak, and to be in this situation, you got to take a lot of positives of how we've been playing, and hopefully we have something to show for it come next weekend.
Steve said he feels like you guys might have been, he said you guys were probably in a better place a few weeks ago in terms of connectivity, rhythm, flow. Have you noticed that, and why do you think that might be?
I mean, 10 days ago, we beat Memphis, LA, Denver in a 3-game stretch. It's really hard to win in this league, and yeah, you have a high standard of how you want to play, and the Houston game, the San Antonio game weren't our best basketball, but you kind of lock in on the positives of what we've been doing, and knowing defensively we've been a very consistent team, and our numbers show it. Offensively, we've been kind of hit or miss, and I think that's just a little bit of lack of execution, getting organized and things like that. For a coach, obviously he's going to have a certain viewpoint, which we do have a high standard. We do need to play the way that we expect to play every night, and if it doesn't happen, you try to address the issues on the fly. I think we've done a pretty good job of that for a pretty long time. So we got to have a little bit more in the tank come Sunday and then the rest of the way.
Steph, you said all you wanted was a chance to play meaningful games. How would you describe Sunday?
I don't want to be too dramatic. It should be a Game 7 kind of vibe. You win, and again, you control your destiny on a guaranteed playoff series. You lose, you roll the dice. So I think I said last game, good teams find a way to win, big games like that. And that's what we're aiming to be.
Steph.
You don't want even to be close with a team like this, but they won this game, plus 24 from the three-point line, and +7 from the free throw line. You said about Portland winds up shooting 20% from three. That's after getting scorching hot in the second half because they were shooting 12% at halftime. So they got the win. As Steve Kerr said, I think it's important now just get your rest. You're facing the last 16 games, probably the hottest team in the NBA.
Yeah, we'll get to the Clippers a little bit later. Again, 17-3 in their last 20. They lost a buzzer beater to OKC, so they're playing some really good basketball. But Quentin Post, he hasn't seen the Clippers yet this season, and the Clippers haven't seen him. So can he bring Zubac out of the paint here? Quentin Post missed the last couple games due to an illness. It was good to see the big fella back. 2 for 5 from the three-point line, 10 points there. Probably want to see some more rebounds there, but just glad the big fella is healthy and ready to roll.
Quentin Post is so integral for what the Warriors want to do, which is space the floor and allow players like a Jonathan Kuminga, a Jimmy Butler to maneuver within the arc. You can only do that when you've got someone that has to be respected outside of the arc, and that is Quentin Post. He was huge to come back and also to defend the paint.
Yeah, I think he's so important. He said Zena playing with Jimmy Butler in those non-Steph Curry minutes. He's a great three-point shooter, but that's a good point, Bonta. He's a 24-year-old strong rookie, so he can bang with Zubac physically, defensively. Maybe as importantly, Zubac plays a lot of drop coverage. He's going to be open at the three-point line. And you mentioned the Clippers haven't seen him, so that's another weapon that Steve Kerr hasn't had the last 2 games. I thought it's really obvious the last 2 games without him that lineup with Jimmy Butler during the non-Steph Curry minutes really struggled, looked clunky. Looked a little bit better tonight. I think he's got to take a step up on Sunday and then moving into the playoffs.
All right, let's go flying above the rim.
The Warriors needed a win after their disastrous loss to the Spurs. So how about a cruise control win over the Blazers, who were missing 8 players, okay? Doesn't matter how you get the win, you got the win. Yeah, the Warriors needed that. It's Subs Talk Live, brought to you by Mancini Sleep World. He's Warriors insider Monty Poole. I'm Kareth Burke. The standings indicate the worst seed the Warriors can get is 7th. That is the play-in. However, right now, the Warriors sit in 6th. That's where they want to finish, but the Clippers might have a little something to do with that.
Yeah, the Clippers still have something to play for. So Sunday's game, to me, is like game 7 of the first round of playoffs for the Warriors. It really is, because you don't want to mess around, and you hope that, they're at home. And like Draymond has said, they're a different team now. The Clippers haven't seen them in almost 4 months. So the last time they saw the Warriors, they weren't these Warriors. And the Clippers been playing really good basketball.
Really good. The Clippers have won 7 straight. They're 9-1 in their last 10. And as Monty and Draymond were saying, the Clippers are 3-0 against the Warriors this season. But the last time the Warriors saw the Clippers was December 27th. So haven't seen them in this calendar year. The Warriors are much different with Jimmy Butler, and they're all, all the marbles are coming together for that game on Sunday. Something that did develop out of this game, in addition to getting the win, was Steph's right thumb. He hurt it in the first quarter, played the rest of the game. That is, he did rest in the fourth quarter because they had a sizable lead. But Steph was in pain. Let's hear from Steph right now, who talked a little about his thumb.
Chào chào mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay mình sẽ đưa các bạn làm vòng. Vòng của mình làm màu cam. Hôm nay vòng của mình là cam này.